It's a cold night here in Seoul, South Korea for our final day of Apex Challengers. Afreeca Freecs Red versus Luxury Watch Red will be our opening match. I am Wolf. With me is Achilles. We've got two best of fives tonight to decide which teams are moving up into Apex. It all comes down to these last two games.
Yep, winners of these best of fives will be moving into Apex, taking those last two slots. The losers will be stuck in Challenger for another couple seasons until Apex Season 3 rolls around. So definitely going to be looking to come out the gate swinging both of these squads. Of course, as you mentioned, Afreeca Freecs Red versus LW Red going to be starting us off. Then we have MVP Infinity going up against Rhinos Gaming Titan, who managed to take down Mighty AOD last night. So they're looking pretty strong, but it was a very close set. Went the whole 9 yards on that, 5 games. It was a lot of back and forth action. But first and foremost, we have to get through Afreeca Freecs and LW Red. Not sure what really to expect from this matchup.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Both of these teams looking very strong. They're both red teams here, so we have the Battle of the Reds, which should be a treat to cast, no doubt. But both teams definitely showing some strengths, but I feel like a lot of weaknesses as well. And if they have both studied their weaknesses correctly, I feel like this could be a really close match where we see really fast caps on both sides and perhaps tiebreakers and things of that nature, because both teams know each other so well now because they had so much to watch and study. Because the teams that are playing today have played the most best of fives out of everyone in the tournament, and it's going to be their last ones here to play. So there's so much to study, there's so much to watch here. And when you look at these two teams, I feel like there's a lot of star players on both. Nanahana, of course, as you can see here, even on this sign, definitely the big star, of course, of Luxury Watch Red. And him and Pine, they got these two big names on this team, but the team synergy as a six-man doesn't really seem to work as well as you would expect, just given who's on the roster.
Yeah, it's been a little lackluster. Mostly, you mentioned Nanohana and Pine, who have both been playing pretty well, but they're not being enabled as DPS by the rest of the team, by Bum, by Awesome Guy especially, and Starkey, who's been playing a lot of the Zenyatta.
Yeah.
I think he's played Zenyatta about 6 times, and he's died at least 4 times more than that every time he plays it.
Definitely so.
He's been such a squishy target in the back line, and now going up against Afreeca Red, you're going to have Atune, who's very adept on that Tracer. If Starkey decides to go for that Zenyatta, even if he's playing his Ana, I feel like he's just going to be such a target. Atune's going to dash in the back line, or if he's going to be playing Soldier, he'll just hit it with the Helix Rockets and take that Zenyatta out of the fight immediately. So it's really questionable as to who is going to have the advantage going into this game. I think LW Red's tanks need to step up. I think Starkey needs to play safe if they're going to stand a chance.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that assessment. Just to remind you guys how we got here, this was a double elimination format, 2 groups, and they were all best of fives. As you can see on the schedule, we had them at every night at 6 p.m. Tonight is the final night, and Rhinos Gaming looking to join, of course, Runaway. Both teams, both from Apex. Only Space was completely eliminated now. The rest of the teams here are Challenger. So you can see LW Red and Afreeca Freecs Red will face off. They were the final teams in Group A, as Afreeca Freecs were eliminated, or knocked down, I should say, by Runaway, and LW Red did defeat MVP Space in a pretty one-sided series there. Space getting knocked out of the tournament without a single map win, just like their Apex performance. So maybe time to reformat that team, or perhaps just completely scrap it and start anew, as that was definitely the weakest team we've seen in this tournament. And of course in Group B, Rhinos Gaming Titan will face off against Infinity. Infinity losing to the Meta in the winner's match. The Meta did advance. Everyone expected them to get out of groups, and then Rhinos with a narrow victory over AOD to come into this final match.
Yeah, as we were talking about, that one's just a really close set. If you haven't seen it, definitely go back and watch that. The VOD from last night. We had a couple plays from last night make it to the front page of the competitive Overwatch subreddit, which was neat to see that these guys are getting some recognition, even as challenger teams for the moment. But maybe soon we can call them Apex teams. But just a review for the lineup for today. Best of fives all around, no best of sevens here for these consolation matches. Afreeca Freecs Red versus LW to start us off, followed by MVP Infinity and Rhinos Gaming Titan. Both of these best of fives should certainly be extremely close matchups. I really don't think that we're going to have a 3-0 today. I think that is highly unlikely. If we do have one, For some odd reason, I think it will be in this first set, but I cannot really pick which team it would be. I think it would be just a wild, unexpected stomp by one side, and I have no idea who would be able to pull it off. So I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go game 5 on both sets.
I have to agree with you. It just feels that way. We've been cursed, though. Our predictions for this tournament so far have been kind of thrown out the window, with the exception of space. I was really hoping they would have improved, but they did not. But besides that, we said, okay, this one's not going to be one-sided, or this one should be one-sided, and it's been the opposite of the case every time.
Yeah.
So anything could happen. We've seen a lot of upsets already in this tournament, and it's sad that one of these red teams is actually not going to be advancing to Apex, because these are two of the teams that everyone's saying was super strong going into pre-Apex, and then even during Challenger, everyone's like, these two teams belong in Apex, and one of them is going home in Challenger.
Well, I mean, these are the two teams that everyone thought would make it in over top of their blue counterparts, because both of the teams, LW Red, LW and Afreeca, there are red and blue versions. Both of the blue versions made it in. Neither of the reds made it into Apex Season 1. And everybody completely thought it was going to be the opposite scenario. LW Red, first place team in Challenger Season 1. Afreeca Freecs Red, second place in Challenger Season 1. So they have been neck and neck. These guys have played so many times at this point, whether it was for the offline qualifier for Apex through both seasons of Challenger. These guys know each other extremely well, which is why I think that this is going to be such a close matchup. And historically, LW Red has come out on top of that. But as of late, seems like they've been struggling with Awesome Guy, with Bohm, not really able to enable Pine and Nanohana. Afreeca Freecs, they might have the upper hand now.
By names alone, you probably think Pine and Nanohana are the stronger players, but I feel like Dala and Attune have absolutely been outplaying them individually, and they have been doing it based off of the tanking we just described. Take this, also setting up a lot of plays on the Reinhardt. Watch out for some of his Earth Shatters coming up. Now look at this team. If you've been following competitive Overwatch in Asia since the beginning, a lot of these players come to mind, especially Pine. He's got the big P hat on there. He's a popular streamer. Nanohana, IEM champion, playing on that LW purple, as we like to call it, mixture there between red and blue. These are godlike players. They are some of the best we've had since the birth of this esport. And yet, together with this six-man, the roster just doesn't feel the same cohesion as I feel Afreeca Freecs Red does. But individually, if they can bring that cohesion together, they should be, on paper, the better team. And for me, it's hard to predict who's going to take this best of 5, but I'm kind of leaning towards Afreeca Freecs Red, just because it seems like they're operating better as a six-man.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, Nanohana, very popular as of late, had a big highlight reel also hitting that front page of Red of his performance at IEM. And actually, you know, now that I think about it, I think that's the last time I got an LW Red prediction right, was when I claimed that LW Red was going to take that tournament. Granted, it was purple, but haven't been correct yet. So we'll see if these guys, if they're listening to you, if they're actually going to win this tournament. But Lijiang Tower, taking a look at our maps, will be kicking us off. I believe we saw Lijiang both games yesterday.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I think we had it in both best of 5s.
That's right.
As our King of the Hill.
And Lijiang, definitely a really solid starting map. I mean, we've seen a lot of Ilios in this tournament, but I think Lijiang is the one that teams are mostly preferring right now. Look out for the matchup, of course, between Attune and his counterpart on Pine, depending on which one is playing the Tracer here, because they're often going to isolate each other in that neutral game that we see before the capture point. Whoever wins this neutral engagement before the first point is taken, before it's active, usually takes that first point, and that can really weaken a dive comp. So if either of these teams are running dives, they're going to have to switch it up. We're going to find out what they are running and who's going to take the lead in this very important first map. Afreeca Freecs Red up against Luxury Watch Red here, the Apex Challenger Promotions. Here we go. Game number 1.
It's a bad way to start the day off, Wolf. We didn't get it.
We didn't get it. Don't worry, there's many more opportunities, especially if these both go game 5 as we are officially predicting. All right, so Attune already on the Tracer. Not going to be playing McCree. He's shown a lot of McCree on Nepal, but not on this map specifically. And Pine going to be going for that Zarya. So we're not going to see the double dive on the side of LW Red, which I like this conservative approach because if you do lose that first neutral engagement, it's very difficult to actually enter the point, especially on this variation of the map. So we'll see how effective this composition ends up being, because I like both. It's going to be solo DPS on Attune as well, so no second Genji. So both players kind of just choosing which harass DPS they're going to use. Attune already starting to work a little bit here from the right side on this neutral engage.
And what you know, it's Starkey's going to be the first one to fall on the side of LW Red, as predicted. He goes down, losing that Ana. Attune getting a little bit of damage out there, has to peel back. He gets knocked down to about 70% HP now. Attune chasing in onto Nana Ana. He will be able to make it to that health pack and stay alive for a bit longer, but you can see LW, they're just getting shoved straight back towards the spawn, and that will bring in the first cap for Freecs.
Yeah, good pick there onto Starkey to start things off. And Lagerman actually playing the Zarya here. Would have expected him to actually try to bring the Roadhog out on this specific variation of the map on the control room, just simply because there's a lot of space to work with. Nanohana here gets heal denied. Is actually going to still get the pick onto Navi. Well done, as one straight out for Stark here. Attune does get killed by Pine.
Oh, big pit right there by Take This. Well timed to get Awesome Guy. Two members of LW Red down. Attune did fall off screen. That could weaken the lineup, but look at this. Lagerman putting on a clinic with this Zarya, and they will be able to hold the point for a bit longer by the look of things. 37% on the board for Afreeca, and they'll maintain control.
All right, Dala's about to have his self-destruct, much faster than Bum. Quartermain as well with the sound barrier, so there's going to be some good defensive ults they could use. Take This also has his Earth Shatter, so this is a crazy amount of disengage they can actually use here. Lagerman's going to go ahead and start the engage with a huge pull in here. Actually 2 kills already, and LW Red's going to have to reset for the next push as they actually pick off Nanohana as well, who actually came in, didn't have his Dragon Blade. They do have Nano Boost, he's halfway there, so they might be able to have another push here, but it's looking grim so far.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Nanohana already going to swap off of that Genji. Hasn't been able to really find anything with it. Just got a couple kills here and there. Now it's going to be the 4-tank double healer composition from LW. So going full meta, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save them, as Navi helps get the pick off onto Nanohana. So he won't be building much meter. Earth Shatter coming through will knock 1 or 2 down. They pick off Starkey, hit into the wall. Take This, trying to trade back onto Awesome Guy, takes him low. Unable to find the kill yet, doesn't want to push that far forward and lose his shield, so he's going to peel back with the rest of the squad, but already into overtime. Could just be 100% capped for Afreeca Freecs.
Okay, Nanohana doesn't get onto the point. He tries his best, but from the beginning there of that, they controlled the zone. They built their ults more effectively. I think Nanohana dying actually in that second to last push was really the big issue because he wasn't able to fill up his dragon, his dragon blade.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, that thing that he's holding is like dragon sword, his dragon metal object he's holding. Wasn't able to get that. And then after that, they couldn't pair that with the nano boost, and they lost control of the doorway. And when you're that ahead, I mean, really 80 plus to 0, even if you do that greedy hold at the doorway and it fails, then you've got so much percent to work with. They did the Earth Shatter to protect that initial push against the self-destruct, and that's all that she wrote. And already, Afreeca Freecs looking to have the better 6-man once again as we move into our night market. And no swaps other than Nanohana switching over to the Roadhog here, misses the hook.
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, Afreeca Freecs, they're fine to go ahead and maintain this same lineup. They have Awesome Guy already going to fall. Take This, gets rid of him. And the rest of LW, they're immediately being pushed back into the spawn. Nanohana falls. Going to be looking for Bum. Attune just going to be building up towards that Pulse Bomb. Is at 62% already. He'll have it for the next time, really, that LW wants to push in. And they're already taking control of this map. Point goes over to them. We'll see if they can just have another 100% cap.
You know, when you're looking at with this lineup, there's a lot of good targets to be pulled in via Roadhog, but it's still a risky hero choice as Lagerman at full energy here is going to do a ton of damage. They're actually going to knock the student already. This is looking horrible. On the side of LW Red, they're not able to find anything here. Pine gets 1 kill on the Dala, but that's it. Lagerman full energy DPS right now. He gets his Graviton Surge here super fast, 22%. Actually just drops it down immediately, and this could just be a wipe.
And it just about is. This is almost looking like some sandbagging from the Freecs. They are just destroying LW. They don't stand a chance. And honestly, I'm not liking the 4-man tank composition. I also didn't like Nanohana coming out on the Genji as the solo DPS. Why not run something like the Tracer that Attune has been able to disrupt the backline with so many times? You have to get on top of Navi. He is infinitely better Ana player than Starkey is. If you can get rid of him, then you're going to be denying the Nano Boost charges coming through. You're going to be denying those sleep darts. And for whatever reason, Nanohana is just sticking to this Roadhog, and he's not able to get any picks because there's constantly Zarya shields. There's the Reinhardt standing in front. There's just no way to grab anyone, and this looks like this could just be a clean 2-0 on the rounds for Afreeca to take map 1.
It definitely looks like LW Red is showing their weakness on King of the Hill, or perhaps this map in general. Honestly, I feel like when you look at the solo DPSs, I do agree that Tracer is better, but also I think that Lagerman is playing a much better Zarya. He's like the second DPS here with the coordination his team is providing. We're going to see the self-destruct go down. Finds nobody as Dala is actually nearly killed out of his mech. Attune actually going to 1v1 Pine here. And Pine's going to rejoin, going towards that point. They do get 2 kills. This is their best opportunity to take the point yet. Nanohana looking for a third. He does have Whole Hog, and I think they should be able to secure this. In fact, they already have. Going to try to keep zoning off and save all their ults. They actually have 5 of the 6 currently. So they could turn this around, even though they had a really rough start.
Yeah, finally a good take for them. They get on the board, 15% ticking upward, but it almost got to 90% here for Afreeca Freecs. Now that's going to be the Graviton Surge coming through with that self-destruct. Starkey able to help take this, but he's going to fall as Attune. Dashes in the back line, just taking out that Ana time and time again. See if he's able to find any more. Wants to build up towards that pulse bomb. Almost goes low, but he's able to make it over to that health pack. For now, LW, they will maintain control over the point. They had to throw out 3 ultimates, however, right there.
Yeah, and that's really scary. We do have Sound Barrier coming up here, as well as that self-destruct for Dala. Nearly ready right now. They're going to come in for a push here. The only thing they're missing is Earth Shatter, so they may actually patiently wait for that. Okay, no, they're not. They're going to Nano Boost and Sound Barrier here. We do see the counter. Awesome guy trying to drop down that Earth Shatter to stop this push, but 2 dead already, and Attune gets the kill on Starkey. Story of LW Red's life right now. That's going to be a full wipe. He does fall off the side, unfortunately, but they should be able to recap this point. There's no one nearby. 10 seconds to go, and they're going to have maybe 1 chance to delay.
Yeah. Bit of a botch there by Attune, not having that recall up for a couple more seconds. Oh, take this. He gets destroyed. That charge coming through with a Nano Boost from Awesome Guy.
Well, they're denied with the boop.
They can't make it in. Yeah, beautiful boop coming through. And Quartermain, he saves the point. That's going to be a 2-0 on the rounds. And Afreeca Freecs Red, they take the first map just like that.
This is looking pretty scary right now for Luxury Watch Red. Now that was, of course, just 1 map and 1 game type, really, that we're looking at here. But the Zarya matchup there, and of course the matchup between Nanohana and Attune. Attune doing more consistent damage, getting more consistent picks than Nanohana's Roadhog was able to get. And, I mean, it was just as simple as that, really. And then once they controlled both points, they actually controlled the entry point using Zarya as a DPS, constantly having her with the double supports at 100 energy, where she just tanks up all the damage while her shield's up. And then when she loses her shield, she's got full energy to do damage and very quick on the Graviton Surge. And just sit to the front while Ana and Lucio give the heals. And I don't want to get, I mean, there's not much more technically I could get about that last game. It was pretty basic.
It was brutal, is really what it was. I think LW, they need to just try something. We've seen some experimentation come out. We've seen triple DPS have success. But I think that they need to experiment. They need to break free of this quad tank. Move away from that, but surprisingly, we will be going to Eichenwald for our second map.
I don't actually like this choice as much as I would have liked the Hollywood. We've seen historically Luxury Watch Red play very well on Hollywood, especially on attack. And that's where we've seen Nanohana really shine on the defense with Mei as well. A little bit tougher on the early stages of Eichenwald for Nanohana's Mei to show. The later stages, of course, once we get past that bridge and go into the castle itself, that's where he can really shine. And maybe that's really what they're banking on here, is to try to get a good attack and then hold before that third point. It's not a bad map choice, but I would have liked Hollywood myself personally.
I mean, we have seen people win on Eichenwald without the Mei. It's certainly not a requirement, but it's very heavily suggested, I would suppose. And honestly, LW Red, they have Nanohana to play that Mei. It's not really the same for Afreeca Freecs.
Definitely not. Let's go into the second map to see if it's going to pay off for LW Red or if Afreeca Freecs is going to take a quick 2-0 lead.
Oh, barely snuck it in. But to continue my point really quickly, because the music came in, so I had to stop talking. But Afreeca Freecs Red have only played one Mei this entire time, and that was with Take This, and I believe that he used it as a delay tactic.
Yeah, I think it was on Hanamura, if I remember correctly.
So I mean, Take This, obviously the Reinhardt player, so the Mei not going to be something in his wheelhouse, or not the player that would be bringing that out for the Afreeca Freecs composition. So. Like Dala has not played it. Dala's been, flexing, and we've seen him on the Genji from time to time. But Attune has also not played Mei at all during this promotion tournament. So it seems like maybe the thought is, if we run the Mei on defense, maybe we'll do well enough to have success there. Because Afreeca Freecs, they don't play it. That might be the thinking. For now, LW, thankfully, they are changing things up. They're going to be going for this big dive comp. The only unfortunate part about this is that Starkey is going to be on this Zenyatta, and I'll bet you a hot 6 right now, Wolf, that Starkey's the first one to die on the side of LW Red.
All right, I'll take that bet. I think it might be, yeah, okay, I can't bet against that. I'll agree with you. I was gonna try to think of someone else that could die faster, but nope.
It's highly unlikely, unless somebody gets picked, but there's no Roadhog on the side of Afreeca Freecs.
Well, Pine already very low. And he's going to move forward here and try to get the kill onto Attune. He will, and that's a big win in this matchup between those two DPSs. Take This gets a kill on the bum. Pine needs to dash out, barely gets it up. Will jump up there. Nanohana also finding a lot of damage. This time, finally, on that Tracer, knocks the mech down here off of Dala. And this is actually a great first push. Gets the kill onto him early as well here, and is now looking for Loggerman. He's about to get that pulse bomb. They've already gotten the first checkpoint. And this is an insanely strong push from them. They're finally making this dive pop work. Their map choice absolutely paying off here.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be actually Attune going down. Take This following suit as Nanohana is just popping off on this Tracer. This is exactly what I wanted to see on the King of the Hill map, not running Pine on something like the Zarya, putting Nanohana on something where he can really exceed, get into the back line, disrupt these tanks, distract them from the rest of the squad. And you can see it's just doing wonders for LW. A very fast cap on the first point. 5 minutes plus on the clock, and I owe you a hot 6. Bohm was the first one that...
All right. I'll keep that one tracked down. As Dala, very unfortunate face there, as he knows he got pretty wrecked in that last fight. Pine looking to look for a potential Dragon Blade here as well. Also, I'm going to heal up. They want to dive this high ground together to actually control it, take it away from Afreeca Freecs Red. In fact, Afreeca Freecs Red actually is going to dive down into the back lines here to try and take this engage. This is going to get a bit crazy. It's a melee here. Transcendence is used to keep everyone healed up. Take This, still gets the pick onto Arcane though. Starkey very much alive at the back, doing a lot of extra heals. Nanohana has a pulse bomb. They will get the kill on to Take This, but it looks to be a strong hold for Afreeca Freecs Red regardless. He's unable to do enough alone.
Trying to find a target to throw down the pulse bomb. Won't get the stick actually onto Lagerman, so has to just go ahead and peel back. And that's going to be a really good hold by Afreeca Freecs by the look of it. As they just drop down off the ramparts and work right through LW, pushing them back. And LW, they're still going to have 3 ultimates coming up as they can continue this push. The Dragon Blade did not get used by Pine. There's still going to be the enrage from Awesome Guy, the primal range that he can use, and we're going to see that right now up the top, trying to poke them back, maybe knock them off back towards the bridge. He's going to get a couple of hits in. Finds 1 kill onto Quartermain, but looks like that might be it.
No, this is the push they were looking for earlier. They got jumped on top of before they could execute, but Lagerman is going to drop down a huge Graviton Surge. Can they turn this fight around? Do they have enough DPS to? It looks like just not enough. The CC was there, but not enough damage. Nanohana gets the kill there, and that is really unfortunate. They're actually nearly to the checkpoint, and they get past this insanely difficult to hold high ground. You know, when you're up against this dive, it's so difficult to hold on to that, especially when Primal Rage comes out. That was the push up onto the high ground they were looking for before it failed because of Freecs Red dropped on them. As you mentioned critically, all their ults were still up. They just did it a second later. They lost some time, but they're still successful. Now pushing towards the checkpoint. Dragonblade goes out. He gets slept, and there's the suicide here. Will he get back up on the tree? No!
Pine, he almost had it, but honestly, that's such good profit off the Dragonblade. He finds 2 picks. Sure, he dies, but Take This has to sacrifice himself in order to get that kill. That's effectively 3 kills for a Dragonblade. Going to be a wonderful trade-off for Pine. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that. Now you can see Nanohana going to be pushing for it, has that Pulse Bomb, looking to see if they want to contest, but there's just no way for Freecs to hold on to the second checkpoint. It does go down, and now this is going to be the crucial moment for them. They have to defend this and play this well, LW Red, before that gate shuts.
Yeah, and where are we going to see who's playing Mei here? Because this is where you normally see a Mei, but as you mentioned earlier on, there is no Mei player really for this team. We're not seeing it come out. Take This is taken out early, and there's so much momentum right now for LW Red. They've got a great time. 4 minutes still left on the clock here. Nanohana is popping off. And where's the Mei? There just isn't one. They get all the way through the gate. Dala tries to top down a self-destruct to push this back. It's unsuccessful. They're already rounding this last bend here towards the final checkpoint. This is looking really good for LW Red.
That it is. They're going to go ahead and nano boost onto Lagerman, though, trying to find some kills, but he's not getting a whole lot done, not even having that Graviton Surge. Gets a big right click, actually will have it now. Going to wait to hold it. He's going to wait to throw it out. Doesn't want to toss it out all willy-nilly. As it looks like Afreeca Freecs, they will have the hold on the payload for now. Gonna get this exit kill onto Awesome Guy. Should be able to finish him off with relative ease. Being that near full charge Zarya, they do pick him off.
Ooh, he's very low, actually gets the health pack very critically there to reset his health. Actually gonna trap Bum here, which is really unfortunate. This push will be stopped. Dead in its tracks, nearly getting Pine on his way out as well. They might actually be able to pair this with the self-destruct now with the Graviton Surge. Dala 10% away. So what was 4 minutes is now 250 really. And they absolutely have an opportunity to hold here.
Yeah, and I mean, that pairing is going to be so easy to execute for Afreeca Freecs because there's no Reinhardt from Awesome Guy right now. He's still playing this Winston despite the divecom gun being shifted by Starkey swapping off of that Zenyatta. But they still want to go with the divecom DPS/tank. So having no Reinhardt shield to block that self-destruct, you have to rely on the Winston E, and that's just not reliable at all. Pine gonna get knocked down by that Earthshatter, taken out by Quartermain. Self-destruct comes through. Dala is able to find Arcane, and LW Red nearly getting wiped. 2 members able to survive. One of them is Bump in that baby diva form, but he's just gonna jump off and kill himself anyway so he can get back into the mech. And already you can see this rollback coming to the gate, and this is where things get so tricky for the attacking team. The gate's down. You have 3 avenues of approach, 2 from the sides, and 1 tiny window that not even every character on your squad can get through.
That's right.
So it really limits you.
You're up against Graviton Surge potential as well. We're going to see this Maywall here from Nanohana trying to lock somebody in. Does actually drop his Ice Block. Here's the Graviton Surge right into the gate. I was saying it's a wipe immediately. Only surviving members Bum and Pine. And in fact, Attune! What? He gets the kill mid-air, recalls back up. Sorry about it, Pine. You're gonna have to respawn. Oh my god.
Attune just utterly styled on Pine right there, dropping down, having the
Let's
recall.
watch this again.
We gotta see this one again. Already goes through, takes out Starkey. Just drops, comes right back up. Good lord.
Oh my god. All right, well, that's got to be an amazing feeling right there. All right, a minute left on the clock. All they've got is self-destruct for engaged. Sound barrier going to be up soon. Definitely will be up before the clock expires here. And there's no Graviton Surge this time on the side of Afreeca Freecs Red. They've already pushed around this this hallway again. Lagerman, though, going to pick up 2 kills even without it. And Attune, now swapping over to the Reaper, is going to melt through these tanks. Now they've only got 45 seconds left. They're going to have reset. They're going to have to reset. They've got 1 more chance. Pine's actually going to switch to the Reaper. They're going to have Earthshatter. They're going to have Nano Boost. And it looks like Nanohana will potentially have the Blizzard, but on attack, not going to be as effective here.
I mean, they almost have that Earthshatter as well, which is going to be crucial from Awesome Guy. If he can land it, it's going to be on Take This to completely deny that by having his shield up in time to block it. But 20 seconds remaining. LW Red, they're going to have to go in for the self-destruct being thrown out to zone them back out the gate. But they have to push. 15 seconds now remaining. Awesome Guy low. Needs to get healed up. LW, they lose 3 members. Oh boy, this is devastating for them.
I have to say these ice walls we're seeing from Nanohana are fairly questionable. He's trying to lock people in there, but no one is falling for it. We're going to see this attempt to grab the overtime here by Bum. The rest of the team joining suit. Nanohana's going to use his Blizzard here, but already 2 dead. And this looks to be disastrous. I don't think they're going to make this work. Pine nano boosted as well, doing some damage here. Perhaps they can push this closer to that 3rd checkpoint.
Yeah, it's a 2 for 3 right now. They make that a 4 for 3, I believe. Afreeca Red going to be coming up with a respawn, but for right now, LW, they're fine to stay on this payload. Loggerman coming in behind them, has the Graviton available, now getting popped back up to full HP. From that health pack goes down to 14. There we go. Bump with the Baby Diva, able to finish him up with his pistol. And now this might just be it for LW. They have to stick to this full 5-man, shoving forward as best as they can. Loggerman, the only one with an ultimate available on the side of Freecs.
Yeah, he was trying to jump over using those right clicks earlier. He couldn't get through, but now he's respawned here. Awesome guy. Gonna drop down the Earth Shatter though. They're gonna pair it here with this huge ult coming in. And will they actually be able to push this through? Ice Block on top of the point. Pine, can he survive? He's already used his Wraith Walk. He does survive though, and he has a Death Blossom. He's gonna try to use it here right through the Reinhardt shield. The Ice Block denies him positioning though. Sound Barrier goes down. He's still got the Blossom. He's gonna wait for it here.
Now he goes down. It's just gonna be Nanohana. He's the only one left alive on the point, and he will get taken out. And with that long into overtime, it ticks down before anybody could even respawn really from the side of LW Red. So they are not able to cap that 3rd and final point, but they get it damn close. So now LW, it's just going to be on them holding a very firm defense.
Yeah, I mean, Pine looking for that Death Blossom, and Nanohana's Ice Wall denied him there. He was almost in perfect position to Wraith Walk right into the middle and drop that ult down. Nanohana's Ice Wall just coincidentally, obviously not intentionally, blocks him there. And that's just really unfortunate. Not the first time on that attack, by the way, that we saw LW Red get their ults a little bit messed up by Nanohana's Ice Wall. And of course, all well-intended, looking to try to lock people in where they couldn't escape from said ults, but it did reduce the effectiveness of them. As you can see, the point nearly all the way at that 3rd checkpoint as Freecs Red look to attack now. Attune already back on that Tracer, and we're going to see the full dive comp very similar to what we just saw, with the exception of the Zenyatta here. They're going to be running Navi on the Ana. And we'll see if they dive up over the wall, as LW Red attempted to, failed, reset, and then actually were successful to stop that, you know, very annoying high ground position.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really anticipate at all that we would see that come through from Navi, anything other than the Ana, anything other than the Lucio for Quartermain, because they haven't played any other characters in this entire promotion tournament. 100% pick rate on the Lucio for Quartermain, 100% on the Ana for Navi. So we know exactly what they're going to be running. LW knows this as well, but you can see they're going to be going for a much more conservative composition, much more standard, but lacking the Zarya, so Pine will be on that Roadhog instead. Going to be looking for picks, draw them through the choke, and then just work them down with Nanohana coming in on the Soldier.
Also can try to get picks, you know, from the high ground, pull them over to the side to disrupt that push. Attune sticks with the Tracer. Navi gets taken out right away. It is going to be the exact comp we saw earlier, no changes. Take this on the Winston. Loggerman has really shown us some incredible Zarya today. He was really good with the Roadhog in most of the matches. That was kind of the hero he was known for, but now he's kind of switched over to Zarya. And it's been working out for him. All right, here we go. They're on the point already. Trying to get some picks here. LW Red actually retreating away from the point. Everyone is so low. Arcane gets the kill on the Dala, though. And even though everyone's low, they do just barely survive and get the hold.
Yeah, a crucial double kill coming in there for Pine, and now Nanohana able to take this. Almost gets Navi. He's trying to chase in, but he'll have that health pack and trade back a little bit of damage, but a good hold from LW all the same. They got some significant ult charge. Nanohana 75% of the way towards that tack visor, 50% plus from Awesome Guy Bomb and Arcane. So looking like we might have 4 ultis here for LW Red pretty soon. Big hook from Pine, gets some good damage down onto Loggerman, taking him to about half HP.
We're going to see Attune swing around the backside once more, looking for those critical picks. This is going to be his most important time here, is to try to get those picks so the team can actually take this. We do see a attack visor is popped. It's Nanohana's. He does get 1 kill onto Dala, which is really going to hurt this push with Genji gone, that DPS missing. It's going to be another hell push, and so far this is looking really good for Red. They've already bought more time with their defense than we saw. from the Afreeca Freecs when they were on the defensive too. And looking for a pulse bomb target, gets around here to the back. Doesn't find any juicy targets though, has to recall. Goes back, good recall timing there, and actually we'll get the kill onto Arcane. A very sneaky way to plant a bomb is to recall into the position. Gets the kill on the Nanohana as well.
Oh, and with Starkey knocked down, that might just be him getting killed, and we can see Attune is able to finish him off, both throwing out that self-destruct. Won't find anything for his trouble. Now just going to be trying to delay, but he's going to be taken out of his mech and likely picked off pretty quickly. And we can see the cap maybe finally coming through for Afreeca Freecs Red. They get that first tick point into the second. This should be LW surrendering it over. They have 3 ultimates to try to halt this push coming through from the payload. And just to the 2 of Afreeca Freecs.
All right, this is that high ground we were talking about. This is where the dive comp comes in handy. You really want to get up there onto the point. Last time I did it with Primal Rage. Was that a mistake? I think he just accidentally dropped his sound barrier. That is horrific. That happens to all of us, but wow, Arcade, whoops. That's going to be one ult they don't have. I don't think actually the Afreeca Freecs Red will know that. I don't think they were able to see that. But if they did, they'd be like, wow, we could actually dive from right now. They don't have sound barrier.
I mean, they definitely would have heard it. That is for sure. So that's going to be pretty damning. Dala going in, gets that heal denied, but it doesn't matter with the help of Attune. They just work right through 3 members swiftly. Pine going to have to jump off or fall off there, and that's going to be a very big push coming through from Afreeca Red. Nanohana on the high ground.
Augerman actually on the chase as well. I'm sure Attune will be there in just a second. It's actually Dala that comes to get the kill there. Attune not even necessary. And they do get past this very annoying, very frustrating high ground. Pine does have whole hog here. He's actually going around the edge, just waiting for his teammates and trying to set up here. They've lost control of the high ground, so he's going to be the one that's looking for a pick to recontrol it. Be nice if he could grab Lagerman there. And he gets Dala instead. There is a shield. Unable to get the pick. Yeah,
really good Zarya shield. Good reaction from Lagerman, immediately popping that one off. Take this. He's going to just get knocked into the air. This is see you later. Toss him up with that whole hog.
Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Another hook from Pine. Finally finds Dala. There's no shield from Lagerman. And he gets the kill. Awesome guy going to pick up one on to take this as well. And LW might be able to come up with a hold as they work through 3 members of Afreeca Freecs.
Well, that's really what Whole Hog's all about right now. You don't really get that much consistent damage, but you will send someone to the moon.
I love when that happens. Whether it's a Reinhardt like charge or if it's a a Roadhog Whole Hog, just popping them up in the air. It's always funny to watch these guys fly.
Well, this is only 2 minutes left here. The Afreeca Freecs Red did control the high ground first, but they've lost it now. It's going to take them a lot of time to regain it. Lagerman does have another Graviton Surge. In fact, he's going to use it right away here. Gets them all in the choke point, and that is 3 kills for him alone. And he's not done yet. Looks to get the kill onto Awesome Guy with help here from Navi. And we are going to see this now push around the bend. It's actually a team kill, just barely there.
Yeah, team kill and 4 of them going over to Lagerman, completely going ham on that Zarya. And now they will go ahead, shove up towards this second point. So Afreeca Freecs looking good. They have just under 3 minutes to push this almost to that 3rd and final point. Yeah, they're quite happy to get there.
They've got about a minute less than their opponents had at this exact same situation. Oh, Dala gets 2, Lagerman gets 1.
That's going to be massive. This is really going to delay that big defensive push that LW can make once the gate comes down. So really staggering these kills coming in. Afreeca Freecs, they're going to get a solid push, and they might not even get worked back towards the gate. So this could be extremely good for these guys. See Nanohana on that Mei. We'll be trying to build up that Blizzard as quickly as possible. 36 at the moment. But has to be careful. Awesome Guy. Big shield to the sound barrier coming through. Had that heal denied, but not going to be of much consequence. Holding on to the Earth Shatter for now. Throws it out. Only finds Attune. Not really going to be worth it, but at least gets rid of that pesky Tracer.
All right, Lagerman drops this down. A huge battle grenade. A lot of heal denies here. But Nanohana gets that kill on the Lagerman. That's so important here. Ice Wall again. We're seeing the power of Mei even past the gate here in the throne room is so effective. This is what LW Red, what Afreeca Freecs Red did not use on their hold. But this is what we were talking about so much, about how strong this map is because of the Mei, how good Nanohana is on the hero. And that will stop their push. They're about 14 meters off where they need to be. The rollback has started. As Attune is looking to come around here and get a pick with his pulse bomb. So close to getting hooked there as well. Needs to be careful. It's such a low cooldown.
Yeah, and honestly, this hold would be significantly stronger from LW if Awesome Guy hadn't burned out on that Earth Shatter for just a Toon. Big Pulse Bomb comes through. Toon able to find Starkey, and Pine goes down. He's going to push forward, gets on top of the payload, just trying to zone back Nanohana. And Arcane as best as he can. Looks like it's going to work out. Comes around the side of the wall, shoots him in the back, and will get rid of that pesky Mei. Toon really making this push work for his squad, and Afreeca Freecs, they just need a couple more meters to go.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can actually get the delay tactics off. Nanohana does have Blizzard. Okay, Quartermain gets the pick onto Awesome Guy here, but 2 dead already. Blizzard comes down, and we're very low on time here. 45 seconds left. We see the sound barrier comes up. Afreeca Freecs Red wants to commit to this regardless. Nanohana misses the kill on Quartermain, and now we have Graviton Surge coming down. Nanohana missing several right clicks there, and this is again a strong push for Afreeca Freecs Red.
Yeah, Toon finds 2 kills, almost has that Pulse Bomb coming back up, and Take This, who's rejoining the squad, has an Earth Shatter ready to go. We have to see if he's able to line it up a bit better than Awesome Guy can. And without that Reinhardt shield, he should be able to make a big Earth Shatter happen. There we go. He's going to find 2 right around the corner. Starkey being one of them. Dala throws out the self-destruct, takes out the Ana, and that might just be enough for Afreeca Freecs to continue this push and win the map. Dala finishing off Arcane. Pine doing his damnedest, but he goes down as Lagerman finishes him off. Awesome Guy has to swap back onto the Winston, but they kill him off. They boop him away. The self-destruct will go through. That's not enough to contest the payload, so Bum has to run back in. Now Nanohana with the ice block. They're just trying to buy so much time. They are able to find Quartermain. Another Blizzard for Nanohana, building that one up rather quickly. They get Lagerman, but a Toon is popping off, takes out Starkey and Arcane. They're just trading back and forth. 4 members down for LW5. Pine the last one, can't contest it, and Afreeca Freecs, they will take the second map.
Very, very close second map there. Really close attempt there by Luxury Watch to actually hold. Bum was the MVP. He blocked so much of a Toon's damage when Nanohana got caught. He didn't have his ice block. He eventually went down, but the second time he denied it again. Then after he self-destructed to buy more time, forcing that shield to come up, which worked a lot of it down, he was able to mech up again because they were trying to target him down before he could actually get that off. He meched up again, which bought more time. But at the end of the day, there was just too much there for the Freecs. They had basically 4 to 6 at any given moment, whereas Luxury Watch was trickling in. And this is a great start for the Freecs. I mean, this could end up being a 3-0. That was a much closer game, and Luxury Watch looked like they had control of the map. Looked like they had the better team comps as well for Eichenwald on their map choice, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, I said if we're going to see a 3-0, it's going to be one stompy 3-0. I wasn't sure which side it would be coming from, but it's looking like Afreeca Freecs, they might be able to complete it with just one map to go. Match point for them. LW Red, they need to do something quickly, or else they're going to be stuck in Challenger for a 3rd straight season.
Yeah, would hope to see just a stronger performance from this team, but it's a little bit too little too late at this point to really fix that cohesion. Before we go into what could be our 3rd and final map of this best of 5, we are going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Afreeca Freecs Red are up 2-0 against their red counterparts, Luxury Watch. This could end up being a 3-0 series. As we go into map number 3, they will have the choice between Anubis and Hanamura for our 2 capture point map. And it's not looking good. I mean, just Attune, you can see him on the left of your screen right there, has been outplaying everybody. It's almost him alone that's winning this series. Nanohana and Pine having some good moments there on their map choice Eichenwald, but it's just not enough. And
yeah, it's really looking rough for Luxury Watch. I mean, they haven't had really any success. Eichenwald was fairly competitive, but they kind of rolled over and died on Lijiang Tower. 2-0 victory, that came in from Afreeca Freecs. So overall, this team's just not looking as strong as we have known them to be in the past, and especially in Challenger, where historically they have had Afreeca Freecs' number, and it seems like they're not able to show up here. Nanohana and Pine still having some individual, shining moments throughout this series thus far, but on the whole, this team is just not looking good, and it looks like Luxury Watch very well may just end up sticking around in Challenger, while Afreeca Freecs could very well be joining their sister team in Apex Season 2. Hanamura will be our third and potentially final map.
Yeah, and this, oftentimes we've seen teams go into Hanamura on this 2-point with some desperate strategies. However, LW Red has not really tried anything like that on the defensive Hanamura yet. They've only played Symmetra one time, and for a very brief time it was Arcane. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything like that. I think they're just going to try to use a standard defensive composition here. We'll see Nanohana on the Mei. He's very good on this map defensively, so perhaps that alone may be the reason why they've chosen it, just for that first point. But the map is up, it's loaded and ready. We're going to find out if Luxury Watch Red can bring it back. It's their final chance here. They've got 1 life left in this tournament. If they lose here, Afreeca Freecs Red will move on to Apex Season 2.
I get it.
I get it.
I get it. We'll see if Luxury Watch Red will get it. They're actually going to run Starkey on the Zenyatta with this Winston, Tracer, Genji dive comp again. They found a lot of success with it on attack on Eichenwald. They're not going to try to reinvent the wheel here, at least initially it looks like that way. As we see, Afreeca Freecs Red is going to run Attune on the McCree initially, as might switch to Tracer later on after this point. For the time being, just wants to have a little bit more, I guess, medium range DPS and also the flashbang potential to counter Nanohana on the Tracer when he's zipping around, get that stun off and take him out. We've seen it a lot already in this tournament. Normally on this map, we see at least one team try something out of the ordinary. We see a Widowmaker on attack, we see the Symmetra, we saw Torbjorn. Please don't remind me of that one. We did see that. I try to forget it. But this is just going to be standard. You can see these comps on any map variation of any type. And I'm just going to see if this double dive is going to work here through the choke point. Nanohana's already zipped through and is going to look for the picks on the back line. He's already been spotted by Dala. So they know where he is.
Yeah, Nanohana just going to be making his way through. I mean, you mentioned Attune potentially being able to take him out with that flashbang line up the headshot, but also Lagerman, who's been playing a very good Roadhog throughout the tournament. He can land that hook, make very swift work of that Tracer before she can get the recall off. But, oh, yeah, Yeah, you can see that one shot coming through. Double shot from Na'Vi will take out Nanohana, so he has to be careful. Moves over and picks up that health back. Pine poking in right now with the left click, trying to find some damage, build up that Dragon Blade as best he can. Goes into the back. It seems like they might not have noticed him yet.
Well, it almost looks like they just don't care. Like, okay, you can harass us from the back, do a little bit of damage. We're not too concerned, especially because they've already gotten 2 picks elsewise. So Pine literally looks like he's just farming right now, and that's what he's doing. He just, you know, goes ahead and dashes through, farms up about 20 more %. Freecs fan here with a Genji sign. Genji's against the Freecs right now, though, and is trying to build that ult. And they're going to have no sound barrier with this, and because Starkey is playing Zenyatta, they're not going to have any nano boost either. So what's he building the ult for? Is he going to try to do it alone, or with the Transcendence to actually get value? It's going to be difficult. There's Deadeye popped here already, but he gets killed by Nanohana.
Yeah, I mean, when you're walking that slowly, you can't use the flashbang.
Oh,
get picked off.
no, he uses Dragon Blade and instantly gets hooked. That was what he's building for this whole time. Now Transcendence has popped here. They're going to try to get onto the point.
Yeah, this is going well, honestly, for LW Red so far. They only lost 2 members and taken out, I think, 3 now of Afreeca Freecs. Nanohana getting rid of one healer, looking for the second one as he dashes forward towards Na'Vi. And with the help of Bum, they're going to be able to take him out. And right now, it looks like Luxury Watch might be able to take this first point, but June's going to fall. He swapped back over to that Tracer so he can get to the first point very quickly, but with Dala jumping off the map, that's going to be it. They will surrender this first point, and LW Red, they're going to have a lot of time in the bank to work with to try to get that second point.
They had to use Transcendence, which is okay. Dragon Blade was used, but Pine died instantly. That really didn't have that much of an impact. And of course, drew a lot of attention here as there's some Nanohana fans and Luxury Watch Red fans there in the crowd. There's a shot of Nanohana, the man himself, who really single-handedly won that point for them there, even though we didn't see Pine able to find as much on the Genji. He did waste that Dragon Blade. He does get picked off here by Attune. He's going to take a long time to rebuild that up. In fact, might even switch here, as this is a less effective composition at this stage of the game on the second point. So he's going to stick with it. Starkey also staying on that Zenyatta, does not want to change over to give Nano Boost. They're just really going to keep this composition wholly unchanged. Nanohana's looking around here. Has a Pulse Bomb. No one is vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, 3 ultimates here for LW to play around with. Almost have that Transcendence up from Starkey. Pine really needs to start landing some of these left clicks, or, you know, play a little bit ballsier to build up the Dragon Blade faster. See self-destruct being thrown out of the top. Not going to find anybody, though.
Augerman, meanwhile, does get the hook onto Arcane. Starkey's dead. That means no more heals. Yeah, and LW Red is just going to have to back off. Bum almost loses his mech as well. In fact, will lose it with the right click there.
Yeah, he's going to have to just go ahead and jump off the map by the look of things.
Yep, wait for it.
There it is. It's a matter of time.
At this point in this game, depending on the circumstances, most of the time when you're on attack, if you lose your mech, you're essentially dead.
Yeah,
There's no use for the poke unless you're on your last push. You don't have enough time with respawn.
It's like, do we have to hold the payload or the point for overtime? Okay, do I have my mech? No? All right, I'm just going to jump off the
Yeah, you can make that simple flowchart there, basically. Nanohana still has the Pulse Bomb here, already spotted, though, by Dala. Has to go ahead and recall back. He does not have that recall now, but he has Sound Barrier, Transcendence as well, and Pine, this time with the Blade here, going to come in and get several kills, and actually trying to get Na'Vi as well.
Got the sleep dart deflected back on the Na'Vi, knocks him down, takes him out, and LW, they move on. They're going to get what looks like the second checkpoint. No, not quite yet coming through. Take this. He throws out the Earth Shatter, doesn't get a whole lot for it. Charges through, he'll get a pin in onto the Diva by the look of things, but they get a lot of progress done on this point. Can they complete it with that pickoff onto Lagerman? Might just be possible. Take this goes down. They're still sitting on it, and that should be it.
Oh, Bum and Nanohana on here.
It's just Attune. He's the only one, and he has to snap back with the recall. Gets taken out right at the last second, but a take coming through from LW, showing some signs of life.
Yeah, LW had a great start to Eichenwald as well, let's not forget. But they finally hit their strides there with that one push. Sound Barrier on Nanohana allowed him to brute force his way through, get a well-placed Pulse Bomb, which didn't kill very much, but damaged a lot, which then allowed Pine, who did finally have that healing, to actually support his Dragon Blade to wipe everybody there. And that's all it takes with this momentum-based dive comp. You get 1 or 2 picks. The rest of the members have to run and hide. As we saw Ana trying to get away, and Pine reflected the sleep dart. And that was all she wrote. That from then on, it was just a delay desperation tactic from the Freecs. We'll see if they can get a better time here, though, on their attack. And they're going to run a similar composition, but they're going to have Lagerman on the Zarya rather than the Winston. And that's what he's been favoring today. It kind of feels like an extra half tank, half DPS with how aggressively he's been playing it with the double support. He just walks right into the middle, absorbs damage. Very similar to how One Fact plays the hero, in fact, so no pun intended there, but... All right, Nanohana, be careful.
He's got a wall. Starkey just straight up jumping across. Pretty limber for a very old lady being able to jump that massive gap. But years of practice, I suppose.
Years of practice, you know. She's not retired yet. Not ready to hang up the rifle. Just looking at the comps here, just making sure nothing has changed. Pine's going to be on the Roadhog. Bomb actually running the Zarya, so it's a diva-less comp for LW Red. They want to try to hold this first point. Looks like they want to even try to full hold using Graviton Surge. And Nanohana, no surprise he's on the Mei, because this is part of the reason why they picked Hanamura no matter what, which way you look at it. They want to control this choke point here with the Ice Wall. That's why he's standing here. He's going to look for isolation.
He's already positioned. He's going to throw up the wall. They go ahead. They isolate, take this immediately. He's got the shield up. He's going to charge away, but straight into the hook from Pine. And they will take him out. Starkey has fallen as the Toon went into the back line. But Pine also going to take out Dala. So a really good hold already from LW Red, shoving Afreeca Freecs right back out.
Nanohana doing massive damage through the window with his right clicks here, showing us accuracy here on the Mei. Now we do see another isolation. This time it's going to be onto Zarya. Lagerman will get killed, as well as Quartermain. Just really aggressively positioned in there. Dala all alone should definitely not be committing to this anymore. This push is absolutely over, as we see Take This try to dash to retreat. And actually going to go back in now. I think they definitely should restart this push. They're actually staggering themselves so hard right now.
I don't
Not entirely sure why they're going in like this.
Yeah, this is really poor from Afreeca Freecs. Now they're just going to have to waste more time waiting for everybody to respawn, gather back up, and then work their way back through the gate.
Pine with a big smile there. He got so many hooks, and he has whole hog now.
He's been destroying on this Roadhog. Off the bat has his ultimate available. He's ready to go. Nanohana with a Blizzard as well. They are ready to rock, and now Soundberry on top of it. So LW have pretty much everything that they could possibly want to hold this. They just have to be worried about Dala and Navi with that nano boosted Dragon Blaze. They're going to throw it up. He gets taken down about half HP, being pushed back. It's a big deflection in, but can't move into that Blizzard. So overall, not going to get anything done. Dala completely getting denied.
The whole hog as well, zoning him out there. They're going to commit to a second push, though, and I have to be critical of this decision-making again from Afreeca Freecs Red. And I'm doing another half push there, losing a lot of health. And they don't have any ults now. Attune nearly going to have a pulse bomb. Lagerman close to that Graviton Surge, but they're not ready yet.
I mean, honestly, that could have been worse for Afreeca. They could have lost more members to that nano-boosted Reinhardt, but they're still just losing time by having Dala go down. He swaps over to that Diva, going to try to make something happen. Nice E there from Take This, hitting Starkey with that Flame Strike. Jumps into the back to try to get rid of Nanohana. It freezes him up. Makes it into the ice block. He's going to get healed up very slightly. Pin not going to stick, but they'll still kill him in the end. That might finally be the first point coming through for Afreeca Freecs, but they're not going to have nearly as much time as LW Red did.
Definitely not. I think they're going to have to try to do a really hard push after here. They have 3 ults available, including that Graviton Surge, and they're about to have self-destruct. So they absolutely could find something, perhaps a checkpoint with this first push in. And Dala already leading the charge, trying to build up that ult, is moved away. Doesn't want to lose that mech for reasons we described already earlier. He's going to get healed back up now. And looking at it, Navi does have the ability to nano boost here as well, as Attune's just poking from behind, looking for that backwards angle. This is not going to be something they can push with Nanohana in position. They're actually going to knock Dala out of the suit. He self-destructs actually to try to survive here and get some value, but it doesn't work. He remexes immediately. There's the big Earthshatter defensively here, paired with the Blizzard.
That's really delaying this nano boost. It's going to make it just fall off of Lagerman. Now nano boost over onto Awesome Guy, charging through, trying to find a kill, but that's going to be the Graviton Surge coming through from Lagerman. Take This, going forward, trying to find a kill. unable to get one as he gets taken down. The Toon is still wreaking havoc on this Tracer, finds Nanohana, the crucial takeaway. They'll get rid of Awesome Guy as well. So now Afreeca Freecs maybe finding some ground on this point. They have multiple members of LW dead. I don't think they've really lost anybody in this push so far.
Yeah, they just feel so unkillable. With everything used against them, there just wasn't enough damage. Dala here survives with the self-destruct. It's still on this point. Nanohana will actually get caught here and taken out. Or actually, he survives that with the ice block. I thought he was already used. Yeah, he saves it this time, but now he goes down. And everyone is pushed off. They're going to have this last-ditch attempt. Awesome Guy is dead as well. Starkey on the Pharah somehow as well.
Yeah, not exactly what you would have put Starkey on. The squishy Pharah, that's going to nano boost onto a Toon, gets a lot of damage on a bump. They will take out that mech as it gets popped up onto the high ground. Nanohana coming back in yet again, trying to delay. Take this. He has an Earth Shatter, hasn't had to use it yet. Going to be waiting to line it up. As he gets cut back, actually gets knocked onto the lower ground, will be able to charge into that health pack, but overall has to exit. Pine is hot on his heels and should be able to finish him off. There it is, but they're actually going to trade back the Flame Strike, able to make it a 1-for-1 between that duel. One checkpoint picked up on the push for Afreeca Freecs. LW overall able to hold, who was looking really shaky there, but just the continued delays coming through was enough to buy them time. And now Nanohana, he's got another Blizzard saved up. They almost have a self-destruct from Bum, so they're going to be in a good spot when it comes to defending again.
Nanohana is just such a terrifying player to play against when you're on the attack. He always ice walls himself into a corner, survives till the last second. I was calling him dead, and he pops the ice block because he knows the timing perfectly. He has all these delay tactics he can use as Mei as well through these checkpoints. And look at his accuracy. I mean, I can't say a bad thing about this guy's Mei. I just really can't do it.
Yeah, he's excellent. Dodging out on that charge as well as he goes straight into the ice block, making sure that he doesn't get caught or knocked to the side by Take This. They're going to take him out. Still holding onto the Blizzard, just hasn't had to use it quite yet. Trying to get the snipe onto Dala. He will get that shield coming through from Lagerman. Freezes him up into a headshot. Able to take him down with the help of Arcane and LW. They will maintain a firm hold, especially as a Toon goes down. Still have two ultimates. The sound barrier there for them. With that Blizzard, they're in a great spot. Just have to worry about Lagerman coming back in with that Graviton Surge.
They're going to have self-destruct very shortly here. Toon is actually going to switch over off the Tracer. He starts to feel this is not enough. You know, this does give them, I guess, more direct damage, but at the same time, they lose the mobility, and that Tracer can really buy you a lot of time for a second push after your first one can't quite capture the point, so they're going to lose that mobility with the McCree here. I'm a little bit worried about that. We see the isolation here on the Lagerman, and he might actually just commit to the Graviton Surge. No, he's all alone. There's no way he can. Dala tries to save him, but he's unsuccessful. Here's the ice block.
Dala's attacking instead of blocking with the right click, so of course he's going to get taken out. Two members down now as Take This falls as well. Two tanks on the side of Afreeca Freecs. They just get absolutely destroyed. Now we're almost less than a minute on the clock. LW Red, they complete this with 3 times the amount left on the time bank. And Afreeca Freecs, they might not even be able to cap it. This might just be a map win finally going over to LW.
Okay, they have one more push. Graviton Surge, self-destruct. Got the Earth Shatter. All they really don't have is the Deadeye. We're going to see Sound Barrier going to finish up as the push goes on. Almost certainly all he has to do is press E, and he's going to get it. Nanohana gets the isolation attempt here. He's actually protected there. There's very little time left. In fact, Awesome Guy going to drop down his Earth Shatter very early, but they do have this Blizzard. Still patiently waiting. Dala coming in. If he loses this mech, no more self-destruct. He cannot lose this. And he loses it. And that's it for this push. 25 seconds left to go. He is going to have to fly back, and they're just not going to let him. They're not going to kill him.
Oh, yeah, no, you want to stagger that as long as humanly possible. Looks like the second checkpoint might not have been grabbed. No, it was not.
No coordination there. No one coming in with him. He flew in alone. Him dying there means no big explosion. He's going to try to rejoin, but it's not going to be for the initial push.
I mean, there's 5 ultimates on the side of Afreeca Freecs. They need to make something happen. Nanomoose coming through. Still up on the high ground right now. It's on a Toon, looking for that Deadeye. Is able to pick off Awesome Guy. Going to be running down the stairs, and the recap starts coming through from the side of Afreeca Freecs. And Ohana buying as much time as he can. Blocks himself off into the corner yet again, but gets taken out by Lagerman in the end. And they might just have it. The second checkpoint coming through. Now Pine trying to poke off on the sidelines. Has the Deadeye, can't use it. And that will be an eventual cap for Afreeca Freecs Red, keeping their hopes alive.
And I was really critical of Dala going in the first time. You know, he lost his mech, couldn't get the self-destruct. However, on the second push, then they had the Deadeye. They were able to pair to kill the Reinhardt, which meant that his self-destruct couldn't be blocked. Everyone had to get off the point, even got the kill onto Arcade. So that target there onto the Reinhardt, using 2 ults just to kill a Reinhardt, ended up being enough for them there. But it's going to be 1 minute to 4:02. And this is still going to be an uphill battle, but at least they didn't lose the map. They still have a chance to close this out 3-0.
I mean, that's just so odd to see from LW. They basically had the 6v5 as they had delayed so long that respawn on Dala, but still unable to just hold that second point the entire time. Granted, they do still have 3 minutes in the bank.
Yeah, I said 4-2, but it's really 3-2, yeah.
They have an opportunity to make a lot happen here. Afreeca Freecs, they need the full hold, or else they will be losing this map. And
that's right.
Keeping LW's hopes alive. They want to close it out right here. They have to have one hell of a defense set up. You can see they're going to be going with pretty standard yet again. Just going to be a 3-2-1.
They're not going to run the Mei, you know. That's one of the weaknesses of this team. You have to admit it. Afreeca Freecs just does not have a Mei player. And in this meta, and on this map in particular, it really feels painful that they just cannot run this hero that's so good at delaying. And they're going to have Lagerman on the Zarya instead. Just going to be looking to build it up very quickly. The Graviton Surge can buy so much time. Nanohana is running around harassing, tries to get the kill onto a Toon, in fact unsuccessful, but he's completely ignored here. Does get Dala. And will he get a Toon? Gonna force the recall, and is on the chase.
He has a Discord Orb on him, makes it over to the health pack, however, Nanohana now is gonna have to back off, uses that recall, take himself out to safety. Fine, trying to finish off Quartermain, who's just running around on the backside. W trying to get that push forward so far. Haven't been able to get a whole lot of progress on the point itself, but they're finding these kills. Pine coming up with a double kill.
Yeah, and the Toon didn't die earlier, but he was so out of position he eventually did die, had to respawn, and he was gone for the beginning of this fight. Now he's back. It's a little bit too little too late. You see a Pulse Bomb is available here. There's no self-destruct. Dala is now knocked out of his mech, and this could just be a capture here. Already halfway through the second checkpoint. No kill there on that Pulse Bomb. Nanohana is pushed away.
That should be it.
That should be it. There's nobody here to stop it, and it looks like Afreeca Freecs Red isn't even able to try to deny.
Yep.
There you go. That's it. Afreeca Freecs losing that third map. Luxury Watch Red still in this.
Yeah, they have a breath of life here on Hanamura. So, you can see why that map was selected by them as they pick up the win. It's a really good initial attack from them, having that 3 minutes in the time bank. Almost an assured victory. Afreeca Freecs unable to close it out in a 3-0, and now there's that, we have to utter the word, the reverse sweep potential coming through from LW. Can they make the comeback?
It could happen. It's absolutely possible. As we now go on to our payload map. The map pool for this one, Numbani and Dorado. So 2 maps available here.
I think we've seen both of these only once.
I think Dorado twice, Numbani once.
Maybe Dorado twice. Okay, yeah. I know we've seen Numbani only
they're definitely
once.
the rarer ones. We've seen a lot more of our other maps.
We've had a lot of 3-0s,
yes.
So sometimes we don't make it to the payload.
That's right.
But, all right, LW. Pressure is still on. It's still match point here for Afreeca Freecs, but if they can win this, they tie things up. They take us to game 5. And honestly, I'd be hyped for that. I'm ready to go the full 9 miles, the whole 9 miles here for both of these sets today, Wolf.
So am I. All right, let's see the map choices here. Let's reveal them. Oh, it's Gibraltar, not Numbani, of course. It's a hybrid. So, Dorado.
You're right, yeah.
Will be the map. I don't know why I thought Numbani. But anyways, it is Dorado. And that's where we're going. No Gibraltar here.
All right, so over to Dorado.
This is the map choice of the Afreeca Freecs Red. We saw that LW Red actually had a really good time on their map. That actually goes towards their strengths. Now they're going to have to, on match point, still go against the strengths of the Afreeca Freecs.
All right, well, Dorado, we've seen pretty sweeping performance. I believe this was Afreeca Reds that brought it out the first time that we saw it, and they had a pretty crushing time on attack. We'll see if they're able to replicate that or if LW can give them a run for their money like they just did on Hanamura. Pressure's on Afreeca Freecs. They want to just close this out. They want to be done with it. One more map could really mess with them mentally.
All right, guys. Luxury Watch Red on the ropes here. They have taken momentum back. They need 2 more wins in a row. They're still on their last life here. We'll see if that momentum carries in to Dorado. Okay, Dorado, Afreeca Freecs Red on the attack first. Joyce sets the pace for an exciting match when one team's on match point. As you know, on their defense, we're really looking at not only a map win here, but a tournament win at the same time. As we do see on the defense for LW Red, running Nanohana on Soldier, which there's so much high ground to work with on this map, especially on the initial push. And awesome guy running the Rhine, Bum on the Diva. It's just that solo DPS with Pine, not on the Zarya on defense here, but in fact going to be looking for picks on the Roadhog instead. And with how well that worked against the double dive comp we saw from Afreeca Freecs Red on Hanamura, it's worth another shot. They really were able to deny, especially Dala's Genji. It's not going to be running that. It's just going to be a tune with a solo DPS this time, but they don't know that yet.
Now it's going to be down to a tune. Running forward on this Tracer. I mean, pretty safe bet that he'll be coming out the gates with that pick, as it's his most played currently throughout this tournament. But needs to do a hell of a lot of work. If he can get on top of Starkey, get on top of Arcane, take them out, then makes for some very easy pushes, but there we go.
That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, he was just waiting for him.
It starts to feel like that's such a predictable way to try to approach the high ground as well. I mean, okay, they're up on the high ground. We got to do something about this. Attune, please go up there. And he doesn't find what he wants.
I mean, whichever way Attune was going to flank from, you know, it'd be really easy for Pine to get over there, whether it's from the right or the left-hand side. So, maintaining this high ground as a Roadhog would be a good position for him, but might have to back off now as Afreeca Freecs start pushing in around this underpass. Hook comes in, didn't see quite on who it was, but I think it was Lagerman. They take him out. Nanohana able to get rid of Attune, so going to have that DPS advantage over to the side of LW as they try to hold this payload. They're going to push forward pretty aggressively.
Nanohana's about to get attack visor too, so he's going to have that set up for this little archway as they approach the courtyard. As we will see this payload roll back slightly. Here comes the next push. Pine looks for a hook. Does not get it. Looks like Dala suicides elsewhere, which is going to, again, weaken their push. Pine going to loop around to try to catch reinforcements. Toss out the blind hook. Nearly grabbing the Zarya there, not able to grab him. And the push kind of still sits dead in its tracks as no one's able to group up here. Lagerman does not have his ult very well charged either.
I mean, Pine was able to take out Navi, so now Afreeca, they have to just delay and wait even longer. Nanohana getting found by Attune. Tries to trade back on him, has to drop that heal and then run away from the Diva. But actually, they're going to go ahead and pop the mech of Dala. Nice hook coming through yet again for Pine. So he's going to be in a good spot. You can see Pine just basically sitting here with Nanohana, his DPS brother, just trying to keep him as safe as possible.
Honestly, Nanohana could have popped Tac Visor there. There was nothing to stop him, but he just doesn't need to. There's no pressure with Dala dead. He's not afraid of anything.
That was so close. He almost got Quartermain. Now has that Tac Visor into the Nano Boost, able to work out Navi before he can get behind the shield. Jumps down, looking for a couple more kills. Finds Dala, finds Quartermain. Charge forward will come through from the Reinhardt.
But too, on the Rhine.
Yeah, take this, almost going down. He will eventually, his awesome guy finishes them off with a flame strike, but finds a slight reprieve as a Zarya kills that pesky soldier. But already LW, they have 4 ultimates in the bank. The Afreeca Freecs, they're gonna have to probably commit all 6 of theirs to this push.
Yeah. 1 minute left on the clock, not even getting a first checkpoint. Nearly a full hold here so far for Red. Lagerman is going to get nano boosted here. Gets sleep darted before he can actually drop down his ult. Trying to get into position for that here. As a big sound barrier goes off, they're pushing it a little bit. All right, where's that Graviton Surge? He's being so patient with it right now. They've got so many ults. All the ults of Red are used here. They don't need to perhaps Attune, though, gets 2 kills. Lagerman gets a kill on the Awesome Guy. They're just going to push this slowly without committing heavy ults. Attune not even going to ult onto Nanohana, just going to push him away with left click alone.
Yeah, Attune has to bounce back. If he continued chasing onto Nanohana, he would not win that trade unless he got extremely lucky with Nanohana's missing his aim. LW, they use all of those ultimates. Now it's 20 seconds left on the clock. Freecs, they have to continue pushing this. Have 3 ultimates available, including that Big Bang combo from Lagerman and Attune. And now the Nano Boost is up as well. Charge coming through onto Awesome Guy. He will go down. And now Lagerman, he's just going to be fishing, looking, saying, you know, do I need to use this that Graviton Surge? He does. And Dala follows up with a self-destruct, finds 3. They finish off Bum. They will complete that first checkpoint push.
That was really well done. The Graviton Surge after the self-destruct actually pulls everyone in. You never expect it to be used that way. It's almost always the opposite way. So a sneaky maneuver there, intentional or not, definitely threw LW Red off guard. Afreeca Freecs Red get the checkpoint. They were much more efficient with their usage of their ults. They're much more conservative, and that really won out that last point for them. But still, they were basically on the brink of overtime, so they just have a pretty pitiful time regardless. They continue the push. Awesome Guy has this Earth Shatter. He's not going to want to use it right now. But the momentum is taken away from LW Red big time.
Oh, he throws it out, but it gets blocked completely. And that's going to be the Pulse Bomb coming through from Attune. Takes out Awesome Guy. And now that's going to be the continued push coming through from the Afreeca Freecs. They have a minute and a half to make it up to the hangar. Starkey going to be able to get taken out by Na'Vi and Attune. And Pine and Nanohana, they're going to have to back off this high ground. Actually gets that hook coming through, gets it connected right before the Zarya shield. That'll deny a little bit of damage. They take out Attune, but they're going to lose Pine. In exchange, Nanohana, he has to hightail it back inside.
Looks like they wanted to try to assassinate Nanohana, but Pine is like the personal bodyguard there to get the hook to make it seem like a bad idea. It ends up being a trade regardless, but this is going straight towards checkpoint number 2. And on the defense, LW Reds just had the wind of their sails ever since they used their ults on that last attack. We see Tala actually go ahead and drop down the self-destruct, gets the kill onto Awesome Guy, and Bum gets a counter kill onto Quarterman. As Nanohana pops that Nano Boost, there's nothing to block him here. Reloads one more time. Doesn't get any kills though. Only gets the mech of Dala.
But he's chunking out these members of Afreeca Freecs. He's doing a crucial job here. Earth Shatter comes down, will knock down a couple members of Afreeca Freecs. And then Ana trying to get some damage in. It's going to be the recall coming through as they trade back and forth. The Helix Rockets connect onto Attune. 7 HP, he doesn't make it out. Nanohana snipes him through the window, follows up with a second kill onto Lagerman. This man is absolutely insane on Soldier.
This matchup between the two and Nanohana has been exciting to watch from the beginning of this match. The point rolls back, 10 seconds left for Afreeca Freecs Red here to try to push this onto the second checkpoint. They only have, Red, to push it onto the checkpoint, they only have Lagerman's ult here. They don't have anything else to pair. Quartermain dies immediately. As they push forward, he's going to try for it here. He gets hooked, though, before he can.
Oh, into the whole hog from Pine. Knocked down by the Earth Shatter. That's going to be Lagerman falling, the only ultimate available at the time. Falling, Dala going to lose that suit. The tack visor will take out the Diva. And now it's all just on Attune dashing in, but there's no way in hell he's going to be able to save this one. Afreeca Freecs, they will lose. They're going to lose that round. Not able to push it up to the second checkpoint. Now we just have to see what LW Red is capable of. Might be having that reverse sweep happen.
It absolutely is possible. This should be a fairly easy push. That was very weak by the Freecs. They didn't get very far at all. You can see Attune looks more and more frustrated as the night goes on. Not a very emotional guy in general, but losing that 1v1 that he should have won against Nanohana, he drops the Pulse Bomb, and he's certain he got the kill. And Nanohana lives with 17 health, heals back up. Then Attune, after realizing he didn't get a kill, turns back around and doesn't have a Pulse Bomb, ends up losing after using Recall. Not to say that was a turning point of the game, but just that moment there is what happened. LW Red on the attack now. Should be a pretty easy push. They didn't even get the second checkpoint here, so all they have to do is get that second one. You can see just how close the push was to the second, so it's basically a matter of getting just under that second checkpoint here. I'm excited to see what composition they're going to use on attack. Nanohana on the Tracer Pine, so it's going to be the double, double damage 2-2-2 with Starkey on the Zenyatta. it's not surprising. That's what we see here, but it is a bit worrisome. It's because it's been very hit or miss for this team.
Platoon goes back. He's going to swap out to this McCree. And as mentioned, that dive comp coming through from LW. They can have a very effective push. I mean, Afreeca Freecs, they weren't able to cap the first checkpoint until they had about 20 seconds remaining, 15 seconds remaining. So if LW can just bank more time than that, which I don't think is going to be very difficult unless they get absolutely shredded through on this dive comp, I think they're going to be able to take this map and they'll take us to a fifth.
Platoon is running again. That McCree, as you just mentioned. Potentially looking for those stuns. The Deadeye was very effective as well on Hanamura, we saw. Okay, everyone running through here. Keep a close eye on Pine and Nanohana. They're looking for angles, looking for flanks. Already found here, though, by Dala. Pine's going to have to retreat. Looking to just farm up his meter right now.
And not going to get a whole lot as he push forward onto that bridge. It's a little bit in, but overall, not a whole lot of profit coming through. Nanohana already up to about 33% on his, and he has just inserted himself into the back line, tries to get on the Navi, and he will be able to do so with the help of Awesome Guy. Taking out that Ana, going to be pretty crucial. Finds Quartermain as well with the help of Pine, takes him out in midair. Big reflect coming through, and the Toon will go down, and that should be, honestly, the push coming up from LW Red as they just work their way forward, finding nearly a team kill. Lagerman, the only one who has not died yet, and I have to say yet because Nanohana might just have his number. Looks like he's actually going to go ahead, back off, let him live for a bit longer. There's no way in hell that Zarya alone can contest this payload push.
Look at this.
They'll be able to cap this insanely quickly.
About 2.5 minutes faster, almost exactly here. They don't have it just yet, but they've got this pulse bomb, dropping it in. There's the kill on to take this. Pine gets the kill onto a Toon as well. And that should be it. They're really trying to heavily delay.
I mean, Quartermain has a Discord orb. The Zarya shield's only going to go so far, so he will get taken out. That will be the kill. Now they're going to try to get Quartermain, or Lagerman rather, so they are able to finish him off. That's going to be a massive stagger on that Zarya, who so far hasn't been able to build up much meter, 47%. And they only have to go 80 more meters in order to win this map and take us to game 5. So Afreeca Freecs, it's do or die time, really. They have 2 ultimates up, almost have that third with Quartermain, but it's not looking strong for them.
Definitely not. This looks like almost an easy win for LW Red to force that 5th and final map.
It's about to be 6 ultimates from LW Red once Nanohana gets his, pretty much.
Looks like they're going to start popping them down. Pine actually already drops down the Dragon Blade, gets the kill onto Navi with the help of Bum. Unable to get the kill onto Lagerman here, unfortunately, and actually will be pushed away, so not the value that he really wanted to get off of that ult, but it was only one used. They didn't use Sound Barrier to protect him. Starkey didn't use Transcendence, so they have those all set up for the next push. And even though he didn't get a big wipe, they were pushing the whole time, and they still are very close to actually just winning this. They're 20 meters away. I mean, look at, there's no one even able to contest this right now. Kills or no.
Oh, that's going to be a nano boost coming through onto Lagerman. Gets down, taken down to about half HP, but he will get bumped back up with the help of Navi. Still going to be pretty low. Has that Graviton Surge, going to throw it out, but the Transcendence is there from Starkey to keep them all alive, so no profit really going to be seen from the side of Afreeca Freecs. And with just a couple more meters to go, it's looking like LW Red, there it is. They are able to take map 4. They're going to take us all the way to game 5, keeping the hope alive. There's plenty of fans here in the audience that have come out to see LW Red. They don't want to send them home disappointed. They're going to do their damnedest to make sure that they make their way into Apex Season 2.
This is the biggest amount of fans we have seen in the studio since the tournament began. It is pretty packed in here.
Makes sense. It is a Friday.
It is a Friday, and it's also the most important day of promotions with 2 big fan favorites, especially in this first match. Going head-to-head, now on this 5th game. Something I've noticed that we were watching from LW Red is they'll focus the healers first. If they're unsuccessful, Lagerman is always the target. They know that his Graviton Surge is going to change the tide of battle oftentimes. So they try to prevent him from using it or make him use it in panic, which has happened several times, especially on Hanamura. But I really feel like that's a pretty successful tactic so far. Taking Lagerman out of the fight, really been successful for them. The Graviton Surge is often what we see, even when you're down in ults. If you get caught in the wrong way, it can really turn the battle. Now, our last map is going to be Hybrid, Hollywood, Eichenwald, and Kings Row. That's the same map pool as we had earlier today on our second map. It will be up to the Freecs to choose which map they want to bring us to. Earlier we did play on Eichenwald, but that was Luxury Watch Red's map pick, so I don't think we're going there again.
Yeah.
I'd say they might just go with the King's Row, as I feel like Luxury Watch Red is really good on Hollywood. I'm going to find out right now. Let's take a look at our 5th and final map.
It's going to be Hollywood.
Okay.
All right. Interesting.
Well, stars are going to be made tonight. Whoever wins this, going into Apex Season 2.
I don't think that the teams are going to want to purchase a Hollywood star. Those things are really expensive.
They really are.
They're like 30 grand each. They don't just give them to you. You have to buy the thing.
Yeah, maybe after next year, after they win a few championship titles, they could give some consideration to that.
That's what we need. We need esports players on the Hollywood walk.
That's what we need, man. Well, this is it, fans. Tell your friends this 5th and final map will determine everything. One of these teams is playing in Challenger again. The other one is going up to Apex. This is it, Hollywood, our 5th and final map.
Get it.
Game 5, LW Red on the attack first on Hollywood, and they will run a different variation, unless they're going to swap it up. Okay, they're just going to mess around with us on the attack here, but they could very well run the double 2-2-2, double DPS dive comp with Winston. And on the side of Afreeca Freecs Red, Attune's going to stay on the Tracer, not going to bring the McCree on defense here. Going to be solo DPS with, once again, Loggerman right here on the Zarya. It's been the target of those, aggressive harasses from Nano and Pine every time. We'll see if he can survive a little bit better this time, as I feel like he was one of the strengths, especially on our King of the Hills, to really winning, and also on Eichenwald did very well, but going on to the rest of the maps, it feels like he's the weak link because he's always dead as they keep focusing him down.
Looks like we will have that dive composition coming back through for LW. See how it's going to pay off for them on the start of this point. But I can't think of a more fitting map to end on, Hollywood, where careers go to die, Wolf.
That's right.
6 of these players will be walking away with, I guess, Challenger, which I guess is like the equivalent compared to Hollywood of working in fast food for the rest of your life. Until the next season that you can qualify, that is. But already the attack coming through. Pine trying to build up for that Dragon Blade as best he can. Not really landing too many of these left clicks yet. Jump out already coming through from Awesome Guy as Starkey has fallen, so that long-range heal has been denied. And the Afreeca Freecs are going to hold on to this pretty strongly, pretty firmly so far. Attune finding Nanohana, almost takes him out. Nanohana dashing back through onto the point. Not going to be able to get a whole lot done. Looks like he will make it out with his life, however, so that'll be a nice reprieve for him.
Okay, Attune just really being more successful so far. This dive has failed initially here. Starkey not near that Transcendence yet because of that earlier death. Nanohana does have his Pulse Bomb now finishing up here, and he's going to look for a pick. They are actually in good position for one right now. Going to come around here onto the Ana. It's going to be a trade, though, 1-for-1. Pine kills Navi. Dala takes out Starkey, though, so no heals, no Transcendence.
Pine's gone down. It's really all up to Nanohana at this point as far as the DPS is concerned, and he still can't find Quartermain. He's just been dashing around this side room. Nanohana throws out that Pulse Bomb, finally able to find Loggerman, goes low, has to dash out, comes back in with the recall, but Afreeca Freecs, they still have a hold on this point. I think Nanohana, he's going to have to eject himself. As you see, he just go ahead, backs out, now going to follow through with that self-destruct coming through. Not really going to find a pick, however.
Yep, counter self-destruct comes out afterwards to re-hold this point, not even going to give up a checkpoint. Finally, that Transcendence is ready. They're going to actually pair it with that Primal Rage as Awesome Guy runs in.
Though, throws in the bomb. Can he find any picks? No, not going to get anybody killed for that one, actually. By the look of things, that's going to be Town Bear ticking down for LW. Pine popping off with a Dragon Blade, able to find Quartermain. Getting rid of that Lucio, very crucial pickoff for him. Throws out the right click straight into the face of Loggerman. Will find another kill. Big pin coming through onto Awesome Guy, but he's got that Primal Rage, so he'll be fine. And I think this might be the cap for LW as they effectively get a team kill on Afreeca Freecs Red.
Certainly, Loggerman unable to use a single Graviton Surge there. It was not close enough. They saved the Primal Rage. They didn't actually commit it to the Transcendence as they thought they would. And that gave them that basically extra finishing power to just through, swinging ape arms, knock everyone off of the point. Nanohana having a rough time at the beginning there, but eventually finding the picks onto Lagerman consistently, as I was talking about before. And Lagerman is going to stay on that Zarya. He's got that Graviton Surge nearly ready. Wow, that Lucio went into the wrong doorway, getting killed there.
Yeah, almost goes down, but oh boy, this is going to be really bad for Lagerman. Yeah, he gets taken out. Pine almost having that next Dragon Blade up. Toon does go into the back line, takes out Starkey, so some things never change really. Gets rid of that Zenyatta. But overall, I have to say, Starkey has been having a significantly improved performance as far as his deaths, or at least I haven't been noticing them as much. He's going to swap over to that Ana, so at least if he has somebody getting up into his face, he can throw out the sleep dart and try to come up with a kill of his own.
Just feels like LW Red is so good at this dive comp, and they struggled early on in this series because they weren't really running it, and now they've really hit their stride.
See, there it is.
Sleep darted, does go down. Lagerman does have the Graviton Surge finally. This isn't the right time to use it. Wants to wait for more members to be together to get the maximum amount of damage out of this. They're pushed way back. In fact, LW Red's got a great push.
Pine just found a triple kill, didn't even have the Dragon Blade to use, I don't believe. Just sweeping through multiple members, getting those resets on the dashes, and comes up huge, and that's going to be a massive push coming through now for LW as they inch closer and closer towards this second checkpoint.
All right, almost 6 ultimates up for Freecs Red right now. They need to get a good Graviton Surge here. They want to hold before the second choke point. Okay, there's the Graviton Surge right now. A big Violet Grenade goes in as well. We're going to see the Diva ult come down once more here to try to delay, to push everyone off as the push continues here. It's actually a slight lead right now for Freecs Red. Toon trying to get the kill, and then Nanohana. The matchup continues here. This 1v1, it's going to go into Toon's favor this time, and they will hold.
Yeah, they get him in the end. 2 minutes on the clock now for LW. They have that ultimate from Nanohana, but he's not really been able to get onto the high ground. Has to wait for that lift to take him up on top of the buildings so he can get that angle for the tac visor. But it's just been so difficult for him, and now it's just going to be it's probably going to be 3 ultimates and 3 ultimates as we get ready for this clash coming up. Maybe even 4 as the Toon is building up towards that pulse bomb, takes out Pine. That will give it to him. Take this, had to use that Earth Shatter, however, so 3 for 3. Looks like it will be the ultimate exchange coming up in this next push. LW, they're going to have to full commit here if they want to finalize this second push.
All right, let's see, 1 minute 25. They definitely do not want to get held on the first checkpoint here. Toon already looking for an angle though. Drops a pulse bomb in aggressively. Actually has to recall Sound Barrier used here. Earth Shatter used just on 1. They're going to get the kills here too. 3 of them. LW Red shut down once more. 65 seconds left on the clock as Take This gets the full wipe there. Only Pine surviving.
Well, he had died at the beginning of the fight,
yeah, exactly.
So that was effectively it.
Yeah, just a second off of the team kill voice animation coming out, but the voiceover, I should say. And Freecs Red continuing to hold very well.
Yeah,
no ults left anyways for LW Red. Like, they are going to really struggle to actually get to this checkpoint with a big rollback.
Yeah, I mean, any percentage that Nanohana had, he lost because he swapped over to this Reaper. Is going to look to try to push through a Freecs. If he gets into that close range 1v1 against the Toon, he can just pop him with a couple shots from the shotguns. But this is still looking so grim for LW. Losing Awesome Guy, losing Starkey, Pine almost falling, barely being kept alive for the moment. And Nanohana, he goes down.
That was
20 seconds on the clock, and Freecs, I think they have this one in the bag.
That was a really good aggressive Dala self-destruct there. He actually forced everyone back into a choke point where Lagerman was able to do a lot of damage. He was looking to try to pair that with the Graviton Surge, but he just simply didn't need to, which means he has it available now. 4 seconds to go on the clock. He's just going to try to wait and save it. Toon has Pulse Bomb, and Take This has that Earth Shatter. He's going to drop it down initially here. Here's the follow-up.
Yeah, Graviton Surge coming through. You can see the big bang coming out as Toon is able to take out 2 with that Pulse Bomb. Awesome Guy and Pine both falling. Self-destruct comes through, and Toon's able to dash out. They had that Sound Barrier shield as well to buy them a little bit more time, a little bit of leeway from that self-destruct, but with the team wipe coming through, Awesome Guy swapping the Tracer, not going to get anywhere near there. The overtime ticks down, and that will be Freecs with a defend before LW can make it to that second point.
Okay, this is really good for Freecs. It started off with a solid early take on this hybrid map, and now, once they really hit their strides in the open area, they took a few fights there, some aggressive ults used, especially Dala dropping down that self-destruct, got that first hold. I mean, they didn't have to use the Graviton Surge. This is going to be a tough push to beat now for Luxury Watch Red. You know, this is, or rather, their push was so weak. It's going to be tough to hold. It's going to be a lot easier for the Freecs to actually push past that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of rollback there at the end, so LW, they did go a little bit further than it might have looked like. They made it about 97 meters.
Yeah, 97,
or
34.
So Afreeca Freecs, they have to be able to get a strong push. See, right now, don't have to worry about too much when they're locking in. I think this is going to be pretty much what we'll see from them.
Yeah.
Dala, of course, coming back through on that Diva. Navi and Quartermain, I don't think they'll ever actually change what they're playing. Like I said, they have yet to play anything that is not Lucio and Ana. I don't even know how many maps straight this is now. I guess it's got to be like 24 maps straight that they've been playing nothing but these characters in this tournament. LW Red on the defense, they will be running Nanohana off the bat on that Mei, so have that wall to cut off this choke point, cut off maybe the security room if they have to do so. But Pine likely going to be sitting up on that high ground with this Roadhog, looking to just yank somebody, pretty much anybody in. If you grab anyone, you are going to be happy with it, even if it's Dala with that Diva. Chunk them down and then try to at least break them back, if not get a kill.
This is going to be a really heavy attempt by LW Red to get a full hold, and I think they absolutely can do it. That's what they're looking for here. Natoon already leading the charge. They're trying to swing past here, get into the fray. Dala with some support. Nanohana already used his ice wall, so they're going to actually go around the backside here through the middle. And now Dala gets to the back. He's actually going to go right in onto Pine here to try to chunk him down onto the high ground. In fact, this is a solid push. They're going for Pine first.
He's getting works really low, but he gets that heal coming through the self one at the end, so he will stay alive for a bit longer. Take this, pushes really far forward, gets a heal deny coming out. He might get chunked low, if not killed. He's at about half HP. Nice deny on the hook with the right click shield. He will keep himself alive, and Nanohana, he's actually going to be the first one to fall. A crucial pickoff for Afreeca Freecs if they want to take this point. Self-destruct now coming through from Dala, drops it right in the front. Not going to find anybody with a self-destruct, but helps take out Starkey, zoning him away, and Natoon picks him up. Now, this is just going to be Afreeca Freecs stomping through, coming up with the team kill effectively as Nanohana has respawned, but likely won't be able to make it back in time on this Mei. Doesn't want to run in alone.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the take coming through. And Afreeca Freecs, they have so much time, 5 minutes, 20 seconds to just go 97 meters.
Critically, Nanohana wasn't able to get Blizzard. If he gets Blizzard, this is a whole different story. They can hold that. Atune was left to his own devices. He got the kill onto Starkey early on. Got the second pulse bomb here as well. And take that mech out from Bum. And they have so many ults as well. They have the, the nano boost here. Loggerman does go down, which is really important. They focused him one more time because Graviton Surge is available, and they've been focusing him down all these times to try to prevent that from coming out.
Yeah, I mean, LW, they have to delay as long as they possibly can because crucially on this map, there's no way for Bum to commit suicide. He has no way to kill himself to get back into the mech. Does end up getting killed at the end there, but that's still giving, ultimate charge over to your enemies. So it's a really undesirable situation losing your mech in that fashion. LW about to have 5 different ultimates available here as Bum is just working his way towards it. Just the 3 available for Afreeca Freecs, but they only use 1 Wombo combo to walk away with this game.
All right, we're going to see this commitment to the Blizzard here for LW Red. We see the Blizzard come down immediately. They get the kill on to take this. Dala takes out Pine. Meanwhile, Nanohana totally safe here, still has his ice block, and it looks like this is going to be a hold here. We do see that attempt with the self-destruct by Dala, but doesn't get anything. Loggerman gets 1 kill. He's actually going to commit to the Graviton Surge. Will it be enough follow-up? That's 3 kills here. They're trying to push this through. Atune still alive, gets the pulse bomb, and this push will continue.
Yeah, they go ahead, they take out both of the healers. That's going to stagger them so severely. Pine tries to go in for the whole hog, but gets slept off the bat. Taking out Dala, picking up the kill. Now 4-man push onto this payload. They just need to go another 17 meters, and Afreeca Freecs will have done it. They might just make it into Apex right here. LW, they have to full commit to this hold.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be their last chance. Bum here not having anything. He's got the nano boost, the heal deny on him though. He can't be as aggressive as he'd like to. Atune already gets a kill on the circuit, but Navi goes down. Take this goes down as well. They got good position here to push this back. Loggerman does get 1 pick. He does not have a Dragon Blade, but he goes down as well. Nanohana still alive here, trying to build up another Blizzard. They will stop this.
Big hook right there from Pine. That's going to be a huge stagger for them on the respawn of Quartermain. But look how close they are. 3 meters remaining. They need to get as much rollback as possible. If Nanohana can delay with a Maywall just so this limousine pushes back a little bit further, that'll be so crucial for them. But still, 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock for Afreeca Freecs. It's looking so unlikely for LW despite that hold. If they can pull this off, it would be near miraculous.
Okay, he did get one more right click there on the Loggerman. He has that Blizzard again. Nanohana, of course, is who I'm talking about here. Toon looking for enough charge for a pulse spawn coming in. We see a sound barrier committed to both sides here. Dala already gets a kill on the awesome guy. Bums, self-destruct, will kill Navi. Nanohana used his Ice Block already. Looking for picks here. Blizzard already used as well. They can't lose more members here.
He goes down. There's only just Bum there, but he's going to lose the mech. They're going to keep pushing this limousine. Bum just goes down immediately. Awesome guy has to run up, but I don't think he's going to make it. No, he doesn't. Gets taken out in Afreeca Freecs. They have done it. They will join their sister team in Apex Season 2. LW Red get knocked out of their consolation match and will spend another split in Challenger.
So unfortunate for this team. In name, this is the IEM champion that we had at Gyeonggi. It's not the same roster, but they have so many fans, and you know there was a lot of cheering during the pushing, and this crowd is nearly almost 100% LW. It's a massive crowd. They have such a large following, and for all these fans online, at home, worldwide, and the people here in the studio, that's it for LW Red. We'll see them attempt to get through Challenger, go through promotions again. It's a long, hard road. At Afreeca, their investment early on into the MIG squads we had at the birth of Overwatch really paying off now, having 2 squads. Everyone was saying at the beginning that Afreeca Freecs Red was stronger than Blue. Blue went to the finals. Now Red has finally earned their spot in Apex. And for Afreeca, the sponsor, the organization, they are definitely going to be happy with this.
So, if you're an LW fan, all hope is not lost, honestly. With LW falling back into Challenger, it's very well possible that the org as a whole decides to combine Blue and Red like we saw at IEM Gyeonggi. I mean, saying combine is a little bit of a loose term because it was pretty much Nanohana and Pine, plus the roster with Pine as a sub spot. It's possible that we do see that happen. Whether or not they maintain the slot and try to fill out the rest of the roster, we don't know. They could just collapse the entire team, but there is now potential that LW Purple exists in Apex Season 2. It's really unfortunate for these guys to not be able to make it, be in there alongside their sister team. But Afreeca, they played the better game. They stomped out those first 2 maps, made it look like it was going to be that 3-0. Really hard fought by LW Red in the end, but unfortunately, the better team won, and it just didn't happen to be them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this team, LW, or whatever happens to this squad, they've got a great lineup of players. Pine and Nanohana, already famous. Awesome guy, I'd probably say is number 3 on this team, really being the Winston that helps this diving comp. And yeah, Arcane and Starkey, maybe they don't seem as flashy, but they're solid players. We probably will see lineup watch. I mean, it's pretty easy to predict that's going to happen, but I feel like almost all 6 of these players will end up on a good home, so fret not, LW Red fans. This team, these players will find a good home. We're just going to watch some of these highlights.
You know, something that I've seen a lot of confusion about. People keep asking, why did LW change their roster from IEM Gyeonggi? They look so good. Why are they putting in, Awesome Guy? Why are they putting in Starkey? You have to understand, this is the roster that they played with in Challenger. Because this is an ongoing league, they have to play with that roster, or at least the majority of it. IEM was a completely separate event, so they were able to combine the 2 sister teams together. So that is why you're not seeing, Luxury Watch Purple, as Kaplan kind of coined it, in this tournament. It is required that they play with these guys.
Yeah.
Just want to stress that because I see a lot of confusion coming through.
It's definitely the rule set here at OGN. And of course, that was for Challenger, which this is an extension of, even though this is promotion, this is the end of Challenger. And going into Apex Season 2, we'll have switches. And, of course, eventually all the teams and the rosters will be announced. It's going to be at a later date. But we already know all of the ones from this -1, which we'll be seeing coming up, whether it's going to be, of course, Infinity or Rhinos Gaming Titan. Before we get to that, I'm going to jump to the interview. As G Club is still sick, please do send him well wishes, as he's been sick for several days now, and I'm starting to worry about the guy big time.
I think he's hanging out somewhere in the Twitch chat, probably watching from home since he's unable to join us here in person. So you can just go ahead at him with a "Hey guys" and wish him well.
But I'm going to be translating this as best as I can. So bear with me as we jump into this interview with the Afreeca Freecs Red.
아식스 오버워치 에이펙스 챌린저 승강전 그 마지막 위인 그 마지막 날인 만큼 선수들 너무나도 치열했습니다.
So we had, of course, a match that befits our final day here.
이 팀이 먼저 가져갑니다.
So Afreeca Freecs will be the first.
축하드립니다.
Afreeca Freecs Red to advance. So congratulations, he says.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
정말 오늘 정말 많은 활약을 해주셨어요. 그리고 또 팀장이라서 고생이 정말 많으셨을 텐데 승자전에서 어떻게 패하고 불안하거나 이러진 않으셨어요?
So it was a really good leadership from you today, but what were you worried about? Or was there any like anxiety-inducing things going into such an important match?
무조건 이겨야 된다. 이번 최종전에서.
그리고 또 승자전에서 이제
I didn't catch the beginning, but I imagine he said it's based on what he said at the end there. That was they knew it was such an important match, and that's why they knew they had to win it,
예,
regardless of the difficulties.
불안하지 않았을 테고 따로 이렇게 전략이나 이런 걸 준비를 했었나요?
전략을 준비했어요. 그리고 그 LW를 일단 분석하고 저희들은 그 분석한 대로 저희가 어떻게 행동해야 될지 그런 거를 되게 준비 많이 했어요.
So just kind of focusing, of course, on their opponent's play style, using Overwatch terms I don't know in Korean, but focusing on their opponent's play style, trying to fight LW Red as a team. That's how they prepared.
첫 번째 A 거점 먹히고 나서 그다음 다리에서 저희가 좀 여기를 막으면 될 것 같다. 근데 딱 거기에서 첫 한타 하고 이기고 계속 이기다 보니까 그냥 바로 느낌이 왔어요. 여기서 맞고 우리가 뚫 수 있겠다.
아 이제 진출이다.
예.
정말 축하드립니다.
I don't know what map he was talking about, but saying like when they were on point A, they were just hoping, okay, let's focus on holding A. If we can hold this, we win the game.
카이달라 선수 한번 또 소감을 안 들어볼 수가 없는데요. 어떻게 보면 또 가장 막내로 이렇게 팀에 들어와서 부담감이 컸을 것 같은데 어떻게 팀원들이 잘 챙겨주고 이렇게 뭐 연습을
So
잘
Dala, of course, is a new player on the team, new to the roster, and so he's just asking about that.
짚어주고 또 어떻게 해야지 알려주셔가지고 제가 또 바로바로 고치지는 못하는데 그래도 고치려고 노력은 하고 있습니다.
근데 어떻게 보면 지금까지
So he's really listening to his teammates
네.
디바만 이렇게
and learning a lot from them, so he's happy to be on the team.
일단
Talking about Diva now.
지금 혼자 게임할 때 거의 소위 말해서 겐지 원챔이었거든요.
So he said he was basically a one-trick Genji,
쓸 실력은 아니기 때문에
but actually he wasn't that good at Genji.
윈선 같은 거 한번 잘해보고 싶습니다.
So he wants to try to work on Winston as well, even though he feels like he was a one-trick Genji when he was playing alone, and obviously his Diva was incredible.
근데 안균 선수는 다른 아프리카 이런 팀원들에 비해서 좀 많이 왜소해 보이고 이래요. 혹시 뭐 블루팀 형제들이 뭐 밥을 안 준다거나 뺏어 먹거나 이러지는 않나요?
Because like doesn't the team feel like they gotta buy you food and stuff?
먹는 만큼 먹는데 그냥 살이 안 쪄요.
And he's really skinny compared to the rest of his teammates. I guess is what he's really trying to say.
본인이 하고 싶어서 자신 있으면 한번
When I talk, I can't hear what the questions are. Sorry.
요즘 메타에 프레이서가 먹힌다고 생각했어요.
So he feels like
확실히 안균 선수는 또 예전에 또 파라 장인으로 유명했었잖아요.
he feels like Tracer is so meta right now. That's why he's focusing on it. But he used to play Pharah in the old meta.
그런 것 때문에 견제가 심해서 좀 쓰기가 어려운 게 있어가지고요.
So right now it's tough to use Pharah in this current meta.
파라를 하고 싶으신지.
네, 파라 그 상황이 되면 당연히 꺼낼 생각이 있습니다.
He's like, of course he wants to use Pharah, but it's just not the right time. But taking it back to Quartermain.
팀장님한테 안 물어볼 수가 없어요. 오늘 준비하면서 가장 힘들었던 거 혹시 기억나는 거 있으실까요?
Anything that you remember stood out to you today as a difficult moment?
하면서 이제 마지막 승강전 제 승강전
They practiced for this and prepared and then worked hard for 2 months, and it feels like it all just came down to one best of 5.
승강전이 더 힘들었었다는 얘기네요.
챌린저스가 되게 하면서 힘들긴 했는데 막상 또 승강전 날짜가 다가오니까 이게 되게 압박감이 엄청나더라고요. 그래서
정신적 스트레스가 또 어마어마하잖아요.
예, 그래서 그게 되게 힘들었어요.
자, 이제 좀
So
쉴수
challenges
있는데
very
오늘
difficult for
그러면은
them.
경기 끝났으니까 돌아가서 뭐
Leading up to
하실
such an
건지
important match.
또 오버워치 합니까 설마?
일단 저희는 무조건 치킨 먼저 먹고
So-
베이스는 이 치킨이랑 상당히 관련이
So they want to go eat chicken first of all after this win.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah.
아주 좋죠. 네.
And obviously he's saying like, of course everyone's feeling great after that win.
에이펙스 무대 이제 그곳에서 날아오를 일만 남아 있습니다. 아프리카 프리스 레드 박수 한번 보내주시죠.
All right, so just ask for one more applause from the crowd for Afreeca Freecs Red.
차기 시즌 에이펙스에서
And that will do it for our interview there. I tried my best. It was definitely a lot tougher today than on Wednesday. Well, we are going to go to our next matches, guys, our last best of 5 for this tournament after a short commercial break.